WUSA 9 Weather Impact is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Hi everyone, I'm WUSA 9 meteorologist Carl Lamb. We are tracking just cold temperatures as we go through the rest of today. It's well below average, and then we have milder air for the week to stick around too. Not seeing any big temperature swings, at least within the next 10 days too. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit, and the winds do start to taper off as we go throughout your Sunday. So that is some good news to look forward to, and it will just start to feel different across the DMV. That will be noticeable as we go into our Monday. So let's talk about what's on the way with Futurecast here, taking us to this evening. Notice that temperatures will be dropping back into the teens. It's still cold as we go into Sunday night, and as we go toward, let's say, 10 o'clock, temperatures will be dipping into the single digits for areas up towards Westminster, Frederick, and Front Royal, Luray, and out towards areas in the mountains too. But as we kind of work you through the overnight temperatures, even in DC, will drop closer to about 10 or 11 degrees, and that will likely be the dip for us as we kind of go through this. And then as we go into Monday, it is going to be a chilly start. Now, as we go into the afternoon, we are expecting things to drastically improve, at least in terms of temperatures, getting us into the mid-30s for some areas, especially if you go down towards Charlottesville, Culpeper, Manassas, and Fredericksburg. But I think for us around the district, we'll get right to about the freezing mark, if not just a shade above, out at Dulles and Reagan, so we'll keep an eye on that. But then some colder air still works its way back in for Monday night into Tuesday, but not intensely cold. I mean, we're talking about the 20s for those overnight lows, and some cloud cover works its way in, so that actually keeps us from cooling down all that much. And then Tuesday, not all that bad, as temperatures will continue to warm up once again. As we go into the day on Sunday, this is going to be kind of the changing element, the winds starting to back off. So we take you to about 9 o'clock tonight. Gusts at this point around 20 miles per hour, 25 maybe. But then as we go into Monday, watch as this really starts to kind of taper off in terms of those wind gusts. So Monday is not super blustery either. That is the good news here. So wind gusts hardly noticeable as we go into Monday afternoon. So that's the big plus, that at least temperatures are warmer for Monday and it's not as windy. So things to look forward to, but we have to remind you that those wind chills as we go into tonight are going to be very cold once again. We're talking about single digit and some sub-zero wind chills once again. I do think that most areas up north will have the better chance for some sub-zero wind chills, but can't rule that out for Tysons, Manassas, Fairfax, Alexandria, La Plata, and over towards Culpeper too. But as we go into the morning, have the kids bundled up and you as well. And then as we go into the afternoon, wind chills are less of a factor too, because, I mean, we'll have wind chills in the 20s, in the teens as we go into Monday night. Again, it's just not as intensely cold. So that's certainly a plus here. Now, as we go toward Valentine's Day weekend and beyond, we do notice that the country's midsection here is going to be much warmer than average. Areas like Chicago and over towards Minneapolis, Dallas, St. Louis, they could have temperatures that are 10, 15 degrees above average. Well, we won't have that much warmth headed our way, but we have an even chance of temperatures being either below or above average. So kind of right down the middle here, kind of splitting the difference for us in DC. Our average high for this time of year should be 47. So we'll see if we get there in the 7-day forecast. But in terms of precipitation this week, it is really quiet. This is Monday at 3 a.m. Clear conditions, and then we have some cloud cover kind of sweeping in for Monday night into Tuesday. This is not going to have enough moisture with it to drop anything, and then there could be a few showers trying to sneak in late Tuesday night into Wednesday. I don't really think that this is going to be the most likely outcome. I actually think this kind of dives a little further south, and then there's more snow up to our north on Wednesday, and really nothing for us as we go into Wednesday night and Thursday, and there again will just be sunshine and that chillier northwesterly breeze, but at least again temperatures are still warming up, so that's a big plus for us as we kind of work our way through this. And then as we go into Friday, again all quiet. There's that bigger system down towards Tennessee, Kentucky, and Missouri that could potentially bring us some precipitation as we go toward the weekend, but again it's way too far in advance to kind of know exactly where this is going to go and what the most likely outcome for this will be. So a lot to keep track of, but at this point, nothing looks like it's going to really disturb us at this hour. But again, temperatures will be climbing as we go into Monday, and then for Tuesday and Wednesday, much nicer in terms of temperatures, getting up into the mid 40s once again. Again, Wednesday will be a bit cloudier as well, but then we start to even out a little bit. We're closer to 40 as we go through the rest of the week from Thursday into Friday and also Saturday too for Valentine's Day.